Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight, we're going to be discussing quite a nice film. It's called La Vita è Bella, or as translated in English, Life is Beautiful. And I'm going to be discussing that with my co host here, Mr. Bathtime. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you? Apologies for being late because me and Tyrone were talking about the correct use of stepovers in football and forgot what time it was. I'm all right. I'm all right. Good evening to Bilal. I'm excited to discuss this film, but as I just told you, there's a part of this film that really gets me going, and I'm very likely to go on a very, very long diatribe about things that happened in the 1920s relating to communist theory.
Okay.
So forgive me in advance. Yeah, I'm good.
So yeah, I'll be honest. Like when you first mentioned this film, I did look it up a little bit, and when I initially first started to watch it, I was thinking to myself, one, it's quite long. It took me a while to kind of get into it, but as time went on, it kind of grew on me and grew on me. You got the main character Guido. It starts
Rich.
With, yeah, Rich. Oh, it was so weird watching it because I was like, wow, it's just Rich with hair. You know?
Yeah, it was. To be honest, when you said to me, this guy looked exactly like Rich, and then his wife is called Dora. I started calling the baby G Wolf in my head.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible to watch that film without thinking about Rich and the Holocaust.
Yeah.
But I actually, before we really get into the nitty gritty, I just what are your basic sort of feelings on the film in general?
I think towards the beginning when I was watching, I was thinking, okay, it's a comedy, I get that. Took me a while to kind of like the character, the main guy, because I was thinking, oh, he's a bit of a clown. He's always joking about. But the relationship between him and Dora, when he first meets Dora, I found that quite nice.
Oh, did you?
Because it was like, it made me think, wow, they don't make films like this anymore. You know? And what else did I like about it? There was a technique used. I think you mentioned Chekhov's gun, but it was with eggs. It was like a running gag throughout the film. And I liked that was really good.
It's kind of a farce, isn't it? Like, it's weird to me that it's. Did you get the impression it's like it's two films together?
Yeah, because you've got the
first.
Yeah, because you've got like the first half, which is like, you know, you're rooting for the underdog because obviously he fancies this woman, and she's with some guy who's in a high-powered job. He's got money, and you're thinking, is the underdog gonna do it? Is he really gonna get the girl? And then obviously, as time goes on, he does. Speaking of the kid, because obviously he gets with Dora and they have a son. Do you recognize that actor from another film?
No. Who is it?
I thought you would have recognized him. He's been in two films that have received numerous awards. This one, Life is Beautiful, and another film.
Okay.
You don't? Shall I tell you?
Yeah.
Gladiator, Maximus's son. He's in that.
Is he Lucius?
Yeah. No, not Lucius. You know when Maximus's wife and son get killed by Caesar? He's the little kid that gets run over by the horse.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's where I thought I knew his face. I was like, yeah, it's him. And I Googled it and it was him.
Well, I mean, if we can get out all of the kind of Wikipedia stuff, because I don't look at Wikipedia for all these things. My recollection is that Dora is his actual wife in real life. Is that right?
She is. Yeah, he done it with his wife. Yeah, which is why there's probably quite a lot of chemistry that's natural on screen.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's I'm disappointed you read about it on Wikipedia beforehand. Because did you know where it was going?
What, you're disappointed I read about what on Wiki?
Like you said, you read a bit about the film on Wikipedia before.
No. I didn't read anything about the film. I googled the young kid to see where I recognised him from, and I saw that he's only been in two films. This one and Gladiator.
Did you know it was going to a concentration camp?
No, I didn't know.
Right. Okay. That's because when I first watched this film, I had literally zero idea it was going there, and it was pretty wild, to be honest. When that happened. Uh, oh my God, Bart's the villain, isn't he? And it's Bartholomew in
Yeah,
the.
but yeah,
If only we had Vincent and others. Um, I never thought about that. Bilal, did you enjoy the film? Let us know.
yeah. Let us
Um,
know.
yeah, because what it is, Tyrone, is for me when I watch it back again, the first act, so you were talking about Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
I think that there's something I really really like about sort of like European traditional theatre, which is commedia dell'arte, and
Mm,
it's where we get. I think I've spoken about this before. The idea of the clever slave and the stupid master and
yeah.
stuff like that, and Punch and Judy and things and things. But this is like the first act is a French farce.
It's a
Um,
musical, isn't it? It's a bit like a musical as well. It's very theatrical.
it is what I was going to compare it to actually is Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Mm,
where it's about kind of payoffs.
mm.
So, like that bit where it's like Maria la llave or whatever it is in Spanish, in Italian, like Maria, give me the key.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of set up, I think, very well. And then the recurring thing with the eggs is set up
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like that, I think, comes from a farce where you have extraordinary characters in normal situations and you engineer like these kind of set pieces. And I've always really enjoyed that.
He so the main man Guido, he reminded me of a character from a Shakespeare play. So back in the day, I kind of got into theatre and I started to watch a lot of theatre. And we did a Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh,
He, remi-
okay.
he
So
reminds me of
it's
Bottom. You know
yeah,
Bottom, who he
yeah,
ends up with the arse's head. That's who he
yeah,
reminds me of.
and Titiana.
Yeah.
Um, that's a good one, actually. I
Yeah.
never made that connection. I mean, to me, it is. I mean, would you say Midsummer's Night Dream is mainly a fairy tale?
Yeah, it is, but that's what I felt like this film
That's what I
started off
mean.
like. It started off like it did start off like a bit of a fairy tale, and then
It's like
obviously it goes into something completely real and dark.
yeah, which I think is really an interesting way to do it because you're right. It is. I mean, it's very like if we want to be less pretentious, he's basically a Looney Tunes
Mm,
character.
yeah,
Like it's like the Muppets or something. It's sort of heightened cartoon reality,
yeah,
um, and most people are there to serve him as a comedic foil.
mm,
And there's no what I find really interesting is that when you watch this film, you know that life can't be like that because there are no repercussions.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? And then
yeah,
the second half of the film is all about repercussions,
yeah,
and it's like it's really really weird to me. And I think we kind of forget that the Italians were pretty complicit in World War Two.
mm.
Like, and I really really like this film, but the one thing you have to remember is that when it came out, it pissed off a lot of people. This film,
It did because they didn't like the fact that the film was using comedy to kind of deal with a serious subject like obviously the
yeah,
Holocaust. But
yeah.
I
What
think humor is a good way to. I disagree. I think humor is a good way to deal with these topics. If I'm being honest.
I've got to be honest that one film I really like. I don't know what the kind of like public consensus to it is now. Is I really enjoyed a film called Four Lions. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I've not seen it.
It's a comedy about homegrown domestic terrorists in the UK blowing up the London Marathon.
No, I've not seen it.
And it does a similar thing where it's a, well it basically it contrasts like terrible things with sort of humor and stuff like that, and it's because of that it's quite divisive. And when it came out, it was everyone loved it, but you know how things change over time.
Mm.
Like Rush Hour, for example, which I still think is brilliant. A lot of people say that's a bad film now. Um,
I like Rush Hour 2. The first one's a bit boring for me. I like the second one.
do I? I love anything with Jackie Chan, and in fact, this guy reminds me a lot of Jackie Chan, because he's as you say, he's basically a clown.
He's very physical. The physicality, he'd done a really physical performance actually from start to finish.
Did you think he was really good as the waiter? Like, I loved his body language.
Mm.
It reminded me of. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen the original Superman?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Right. There's a scene in the original Superman which I genuinely think is one of the best bits of physical acting I've ever seen, and it is when Clark. So it's Clark Kent and Superman, obviously the actor, and there's a bit where he's being Clark Kent and he goes, "Lois Lane, I've got something to confess," and then he turns into Superman, but not, he doesn't like rip his shirt off or anything. He changes his voice, the way he stands, and then he thinks no, and he goes back, and it's the transformation to me is like it's amazing just how. Like one of the issues we had with Sinners is that, you in particular thought that Wallace from The Wire, there wasn't too much difference between the characters.
Yeah, there wasn't. It was terrible.
Yeah. Okay. The difference in Christopher Reeve playing Superman and Christopher Reeve playing Clark Kent is very pronounced, I feel.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, you can tell it's different.
And I felt something similar when I saw him as the waiter in this. Like when he's talking to the fascist school inspector. And the way he stands, and when he talks, obviously, to the doctor, which is one of the real gut punches in the film for me.
Oh, yeah, I remember that bit. That's actually quite a sad scene. That bit.
Wasn't that dreadful? Like when you find out that kindly old guy is the fascist doctor. Yeah, that was awful. You like Four Lions, Bilal? Riz Ahmed's first. Is that his first ever role? I always thought he was going to go on to have a better career, Riz Ahmed.
He's done well. He's a great actor.
Yeah, but he did Star Wars, and so he did like, it's not called Rogue Trader. That's a computer game I played. It's called Rogue One, and Rogue One is like one of the only modern Star Wars films that people like, I think.
Was he in that? I don't know if it was he in Rogue One or is it?
Yeah, he's in Rogue One. He's definitely in Rogue One, and I thought that meant he was going to go to kind of superstardom, because Britain produces very, very good actors, and they do very well in Hollywood. Like your man from Severance, he's got a name I can't pronounce. He was in 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, like I think that guy is a wicked actor, and I'm very surprised he's not in more. He's in a really good sci-fi film called Severance, where he's amazing. And he's like, did he win an Oscar for 12 Years a Slave?
I'm not sure. I know the girl did, Lupita Nyong'o, but I'm not sure if he did.
She's British as well, I think. But
no, I don't think she is.
Are you sure? I think she spent a lot of that. Okay, I thought she grew up in London.
She studied in America.
Okay. But anyway, Daniel, what's his name? Not from the Black Panther films and Get Out. Daniel Kufor or something.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Like, he's kind of like our great young actor in Hollywood at the moment, isn't he?
Well, you've got so many. You've got him. You've got John Boyega.
He's done nothing since Star Wars. Let's be honest.
There's another guy that I really like. He
Tom Holland.
Nah, he's good. But there's another one. What was he in? He was in Snowfall.
Snowfall.
Yeah, what's his
name?
I
don't know.
Damson Idris. Damson Idris is bloody.
Oh, from F1.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know what? I saw something online the other day that someone said they're absolutely convinced that he has to be in the Avengers because he's had such a huge breakout in the last year, and he's not in there's no project announced that they think that he's going to be a big part of the Avengers.
Well, I would actually cast him as Black Panther because I know.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
Because do you know what's weird about Black Panther? Right? Is so I was talking about Superman earlier.
Yeah.
Like Christopher Reeve had a terrible accident, went in a wheelchair, and it wasn't a problem getting a new Superman. Like what? Why is there a problem getting a new Black Panther? I know, like the guy died.
No, but I'll be honest with you, right? Since Christopher Reeve I don't think any Superman has lived up to him. I'll be honest.
I think Henry Cavill is regarded very well as Superman, isn't he?
He was good, but no one's ever. I think Christopher Reeve for me will always be Superman, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but that's not the point I'm making. Is that I've always found it weird that they just didn't recast your man who died. I can't remember his name. Rest in peace.
Chadwick Boseman.
Thank you. Nice, Bilal. I actually thought something similar when I watched. You know how I name people stuff. You know how I give people my own names. He was Kobe in F1 to me as well. I'm pleased you said that. Because the thing is I used to love his dad, Sir Idris, but his dad annoys me now. I've got to be honest. That all he does is adverts for the telly.
Is it what is that?
Idris Elba's that's his son.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a nepo, but he's actually extremely good, isn't he?
I didn't know.
Well, I actually said that I've only seen him in one film, and it's not the hardest part to play. But I like to see British actors doing well because I think that I'm a little bit worried about how our kind of theatre scene has gone down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd much prefer people to go and watch like plays in the West End than watch the Avengers.
I don't think he is related. I would have known that.
Are you sure?
They're definitely not related. 100%.
Right, let me check this. What's his name?
Damson Idris.
All right, let me look at. Are you sure he's not related to Idris Elba?
1,000%.
All right, maybe this is just some. Right, maybe it's the Idris part that got me off, but I was fairly sure he was Idris Elba's son. Jesus, he's so much older than I thought.
Damson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I'm not sure how old he is now, but yeah.
He's 34.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
Okay. Actually, saying that, he's the guy in Black Mirror, isn't he? From like season 2 or something. That's got to be like 10 years ago.
I don't know. I know Daniel Kaluuya was in Black Mirror. I don't know if he was.
Do you know what? I just might be mistaking black people non-stop for each other. This is what I might be doing. I absolutely love Lawrence Fishburne in The Matrix. Yeah, like this is what I might be doing here. But I support British actors, and Riz Ahmed. I'm just surprised that he hasn't kind of really gone on to do. I always think that there's going to be someone that's going to kind of like become like a bit like Benedict Cumberbatch and dominate more.
No, but you know what it is, right? This is the thing, Bathtime. In acting, sometimes the world-class actors are the ones who aren't necessarily big in Hollywood. That's how I look at it, anyway. Like,
yeah, I think there's. I also think there's other things like some people don't travel well. Do you know? I think people like Jeremy Irons have said they absolutely hated Hollywood, and you have to live there basically to sort of do it. Where Gary Oldman has said he loved it out there.
Tom Holland has admitted in an interview he doesn't like the Hollywood scene.
Yeah, and he's only really in Spider-Man, isn't he? I mean, he did Uncharted, but I don't see him in a lot of other things.
I don't think he was the right person for that. That's not me.
Uncharted?
Hating. Yeah, it should have been an older guy.
Oh, look, it's Guido. Guido's turned up. Rich, have you seen this film? Because a large part of our enjoyment of it is that you look exactly like the main actor in the film. Like, honestly, it is. I would definitely recommend it, Rich. But go and look at the front cover. The guy in this film he's nothing like you as a person, but you look identical. Like it's just you with hair. It's so weird.
It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, and his wife is called Dora, and that meant that we basically called his child G-Wolf in this film. It's you, Dora, and G-Wolf. Like completely recontextualized. the film.
Yeah, it was
But
brilliant.
it is weird how much you look like this guy. It's Benini, Roberto Benigni. Bilal, okay, you and Rich are on good terms now. Bilal, can you type the actor's name for Rich to go and look at, or look at the thing? Because apart from that, I've just been basically mistaking black people for other black people. That's been the show this evening.
Bloody hell.
I know, Tyrone. But yeah, would you recommend this film?
I would, yeah. I actually enjoyed the film. I thought it was quite a touching film.
Before we get into the nitty gritty of it, the thing that I really, really like about this film is that
I love how it was. Shall I tell you what I loved about it? I love it. It feels like it was. It felt like you were going into Italy yourself. So obviously, from the start of the film, they're in the car when their brakes fail, and you're looking at the countryside, and you actually think you're there.
Yeah.
And like all the towns and stuff like that, I thought, yeah, this is proper.
It's a beautiful country.
It's a beautiful country. It's so beautiful.
I love how I wouldn't say I lived in Italy, but I spent 2 months in Italy once. So I don't know if that counts as living. I mean, I was living there, but not really. I'm sure I could learn Italian if I wanted to. But what I love so much about Italy is how they think that beauty is important, that it's part of art. And it's so a really trite example is like there's a footballer who moved there that I like, who used to look like he was in he dressed like, so McTominay used to look like a jarhead in the Iraq War or something, basically, didn't he? And then you then see him sort of turn into like this James Bond figure.
He does.
I love how Italy puts so much emphasis on aesthetics and beauty
and style.
Like yeah, exactly. And I know you're kind of like, that sounds quite shallow, but I think that what it means is that everything you interact with, like if your cutlery is beautifully styled and lovingly made, it brings so much more to everything. And so when you watch this film and you see the sort of the beautiful architecture and how beautiful the cars and the clothing are and things like that, it's so different to the UK, which is, I feel that even though we've got that kind of monarchy element to us of like big impressive institutions, I just feel that we're very functional as people.
They're a lot more passionate in Italy. I find that they're a lot more patriotic as well. And
it's about fascism, this film, so yeah.
But not just that. It's like with the McTominay example. It's like, you notice he goes there, all of a sudden he's got fashion sense. All of a sudden he knows how to dress like
that's the culture, isn't it? Because we always, I've often thought, do you remember Hector Bellerin, who was a Spanish right back?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard him speak?
I was shocked when I heard him speak. He sounded like a guy from South London.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the difference here, is that when someone comes to the UK, we basically want them to just to like kind of absorb the internal stuff. Like, so the way we speak, the way we think, that kind. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whereas in Italy, it's about the external, and it's like how you move and how you dress and things. But I'm not like criticizing or praising either. It's just that when you look at like British films, we have this history of kind of like, kitchen sink dramas, and even our like hopeful films like The Full Monty are incredibly depressing at heart.
Yeah.
Whereas in Italy, when you look at things like La Dolce Vita and stuff like that, there's such an emphasis on the cinematography and the beauty and the poetry of motion. And so I love Italian cinema for this reason. And I think you're completely correct that the opening of the film is like, it gets you right into it, because it's two clowns driving across a field, losing control of their car, shouting at each other, not taking things seriously. And then I've got to be honest here, my history isn't good. I'm in the subtitles that I had, when they go through the village, someone says they think it's the king,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, 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 yeah. And then as he's going past telling people to move, they're screaming at him like he is the king, which was hilarious.
Well, I didn't know if they meant Mussolini or the king there.
Mm.
And so when he's like doing his salute, it's a fascist salute. Are you off, Tyrone? Are you off, Bilal? Thank you for coming in. I know it's quite late.
Ciao.
Ciao. I'll tell you the name of the film at the end. At the end for next week. It's one of Tyrone's films, though.
Mm.
I've forgotten what it is actually. But yeah, so he he does that kind of salute and things, and it's
Yeah.
very. It shows you that you're in a farce.
Mm.
But it also reminds me a little bit of The Godfather.
Mm.
Like when they go to Italy and The Godfather with the music and things. It's like because it's the same sort of time, isn't it? Like 1930s.
Yeah, this is set in Tuscany, isn't it? I think, but it did look very similar. Obviously, when they're in Italy, it reminded me of those them flashback scenes with Don
Yeah,
Corleone.
yeah,
In the
exactly.
countryside. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, I love it. I love it, and stuff like that. But the thing I want to say about this film that I think is so great is about victimhood. This is what I really like about it because I think that it like when you think about the Holocaust and stuff like that, it's normally presented as people being victims, which
Mm.
obviously they were. But I love the rejection of victimhood in this film.
Well,
It's
I love the fact that he's not complaining and complaining and complaining.
yeah.
He's looking for solutions, which is pretty cool, actually.
Well, I mean, because what I think most people would say at the time watching this is he's trying to protect the innocence of his child.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But when we watch it now from modern lens, I think he's not letting his child be a victim
Mm.
because so much of culture nowadays is being a victim, and it really upsets me. Because me and you, people watching, everyone does this to a degree, but everyone can choose to be a victim, basically,
Mm.
and let it define you as that.
Exactly.
And so when I watch this, I love the fact that there's no other Jewishness to them.
Mm.
You don't see them going to synagogue or temple or wearing hats or doing Hanukkah or anything like that. It's in the first half of the film, him being Jewish. You wouldn't even say he was Jewish, would you?
I didn't notice anything like that. No.
The only thing you get is that his uncle is a Jew, so you can make that connection.
Mm.
But I also really like in the first part of the film that there is quite a lot of creeping fascism in the film. There's obviously the stuff about the school inspector. There's
Yeah.
that bit where they're having to do mathematics about how many. I think it's they talk about cripples and gypsies and things. How many you could kill would save the state money, but it's done as arithmetic or biology or things
Yeah.
like that. And then you get Robin Hood the horse, painted green
Yeah.
with Jew or something on there, and so it's there, isn't it? It's not focused on, but it's creeping in the background. Even his rejection for a loan, I think, has some kind of element of anti-Semitism to it.
Yeah, because he's going into the bookstore to kind of open up his bookstore he wants to open up the bookstore to get it.
Yeah, that's the second. That's the second part of the film, though. When he puts the thing down, it goes Jewish owned.
Mm.
That's just a setup. I mean that Bart, not Bart. The guy who he gets eggs in his hat all the time.
Yeah, he basically rejects his application.
Yeah, I watching that again because I know the story. It's not the first time I've watched it. I thought that might have been your first kind of this is anti-Semitism, refusing a Jewish guy a loan.
It wasn't just him; it is the way the woman was very abrupt with him as well.
Yeah, but that's kind of there is a long tradition of bureaucracy being used for comedy, isn't there? It's not too dissimilar from. Have you seen Love Actually?
Yeah.
You know that bit where Mr. Bean is preparing a gift or something, and it takes forever.
Mm.
That's just a form of bureaucracy. essentially. And what she's just being overly bureaucratic, and because we all deal with that all the time, like, you know, we're just trying to get a parking ticket, or we're just, you know, we're trying to get an ESTA visa to go to America, and you've got to jump through all these hoops.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just standard comedy, isn't it?
It's nothing we haven't gone through.
No, you do. Do you know? I mean,
Yeah,
there is nothing. I mean, a job's worth is the most annoying person in the world.
yeah. Exactly.
Do you know what's
We've all
your
been
best experience with a job's worth?
when I go into Sainsbury's and I ask them for a bag, and then I'm about to take the bag, and then there's always that one guy who says, "Oh, it's this much. You have to pay for it. Just give me the bag."
Do you know my big complaint in supermarkets is I go to someone and I say, "Where is the milk?" or something like that. They don't say anything. They just run off, and I'm expected to follow them.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me where it is. I'm not a child. You don't need to lead me through the maze of Sainsbury's. Where's the fucking bread?
Now, shall I tell you what I can't stand? When I ask somebody what aisle, because I just want to know the aisle number.
Yeah.
What aisle number is the eggs on? I can find the aisle number myself. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm like, but you bloody work here. Or they can't, or I try and speak to someone and they don't speak a word of English. That bloody balls my.
Oh, that's always annoying. I mean, I remember like I used to, like, when I was at university, I obviously used to have to go back home with my parents, like, you know, with housing and things like that. Like, about 40 minutes from where we lived, like 30 minutes actually, was a 24-hour Tesco. It was like one of the first in the country. And I went there, no one spoke English, and everyone was on roller skates. It was absolutely crazy. You'd like go there, and it was huge. It was like the size of like 3 or 4 sports halls. And you'd be like, oh, great. All right, I want to get some, I don't know, I want to get some beer, some hot dogs, and and 442 magazine, and they'd go, and then they'd skate off, and it's quite difficult to keep up with people that are skating. It was very annoying. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know how we've got onto that. But yeah, like, all right, first act. Let's get that sorted. What can you tell me about the characters?
So you've got Guido, who's happy-go-lucky, always making a joke out of everything. He's got his is it his cousin who he's with in the car? Or is it just his friend?
Yeah, I think it's his cousin, but it could be anyone. I like it when they're in bed together, like the Muppets or something.
So yeah, you've got his cousin, and it's so funny. Anytime he says to his cousin, "Look, give me the keys for the car," and he's like, "All right, I'll give you the keys," and he tries to explain to him, you know, the car has got this wrong with it, but by the time he's got it, it's too late.
Yeah.
And you've also got the his wife, the lady who becomes
Dora,
Princess Dora.
Principetta.
Yeah, and those are the 3 main ones. But obviously, we have the banker as well.
Yeah, so. He's like watching it. It reminded me a lot of Popeye, Olive Oil, and Brutus.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, just because he's very big, he's very imposing, all that kind of stuff. He's obviously sort of rich and connected. You've got I wanted to ask you about this. You've got a nice bit of conflict between the mother-in-law, or Dora's mum, and Dora, where my impression is that she's kind of getting forced to marry the banker. But I wanted to ask you, do you think she turned in Guido and G-Wolf in the second act?
I think she did, yeah.
I don't know if I was being really, really unfair about this, but I did kind of think that it would make a lot of sense for her character to do that.
I think she did it because I think there was a resentment, because I think the mother-in-law realized, if you marry this banker, not only are you set, but we're all set for life, the whole family. And I think when she didn't go along with that, because obviously I reckon it might have been an arranged thing. So I think when she didn't go along with it, she did that to spite them.
Well, it's for me, it's also the fact that it's a cool scene, right? Because it shows that the boy's quite clever, because he understands that's his grandmother. And she says, "Oh, tell your mother that your grandmother is going to visit tomorrow." And they get taken that day. And I think the implication to me is that it was just going to be Guido that was taken, and that the
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was just him that was going to be taken, and that would mean that the mother would have to remarry. That's what I wondered if was going to happen. That's the subtext that I got to it, and I just didn't know if that's me kind of like making up my own story again, or if that was something that like you so you did you get that impression?
Slightly.
Slightly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So maybe that's a kind of make your mind up. It's just that what the beginning of the second act is incredibly good in what it's setting up. Like in particular, I'll just give you an example. Right. I was stunned when I watched this scene, and it's incredible screenwriting or incredible sort of structuralism, and it is the bit where Guido is with his son,
Mm.
and his son, first of all, he says he hates showers and starts stamping his feet.
Yeah.
All right, and that's funny at the time, and obviously that pays off later that he doesn't get
The
gassed.
shower. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Then he hides inside a cabinet,
Mm.
and that I think obviously pays off later where he's good at hiding.
Mm.
He then jumps out of the cabinet and shouts, "Hello, Principetta," "Hello, Princess," which just reminds you that because that's going to be used later in the sort of like where they hijack the DJ station.
Yeah. 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 That's a nice scene as well. Actually, I like that bit.
Yeah, it felt very Shawshank to me, that scene.
Yeah, and it's like, the mother's got no hope. She's wondering, whether she's going to see her husband and her son again.
Well, it's such a beautiful contrast, Tyrone, because I imagine, right, this is what it is. I didn't check because I think I mentioned before, stuff that happens in real life really affects me.
Mm.
Like, I don't care about aliens biting people's heads off, but things that really happened, I don't like at all. And when that's happening, her and the rest of the girls are in front of a massive pile of clothing.
Mm.
And I think that's from the other dead Jews, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so it's a really horrible moment. And then she looks up to the heavens, and she also thinks her son is dead at this point.
Yeah. So
And so,
that's why he's quite clever, Guido, because he's like, I know she's gonna hear this. I just need to give her a message to let her know we're all right. It's very clever.
yeah, it also thoughtful.
Mm.
And what I also really like is my favourite scene, the scene that I think is the funniest. I probably shouldn't think the funniest, but it's where he's translating for the German concentration camp commander.
Yeah, and he's explaining it as a game, and his son's believing every word.
Well, it's just about he's chatting about lollipops and jam sandwiches and how he's very hungry and he wanted apricot jam, but they had strawberry jam. I thought it was, and also there's just another one-liner where he says, I think to Bartholomew, "I'll see you later when we get out of here and we can open up an anvil factory." I found that very funny as well.
No,
So
what bit did I probably I sometimes laugh inappropriately in films. There's a bit.
Yeah,
where,
of course you do.
There's a bit where they're having to kind of like lift things in the factory, and Guido's like, "Oh, this is too much. I can't do this anymore. I feel like I'm gonna collapse." And I'm just chuckling I'm chuckling to myself because I'm like, bloody hell, this is just nuts. And then I think the guy says to him, we have to do this and that, otherwise, we'll end up dead. And then all of a sudden he finds the strength to carry on going to finish the work. And I laughed out loud because I was like, blood, the amount of strength and fortitude it must have took back.
It's wild, isn't it? It's
terrible.
Like
we're so lazy. We can never be called up. We shouldn't be.
We're so late. We would be shit in a concentration camp. Look at the state of us. Do you know what your grandparents and great grandparents did in the war?
Not particularly. No, I'll be honest.
Not really. I know what my grandmother and my grandfather did in the war, and it's always it's just crazy to me what they were doing. Like even things like Prince Philip and the Queen, like what they were up to in the war, it just shows me how enormously lucky that we are,
We are
basically.
lucky.
Yeah, but it's absolutely crazy. Like, I think of like my grandmother, like looking at she never met them, but like looking at my niece and nephew, and they're very young, they're like 6 or 7 or something. And I look at them and think, are they going to go to the moon? Like, that's what I think about. Are they going to go into space one day? Because I'm probably not.
You know
Which
what's
is
scary though? Watching films like this is quite scary because we're in a comfortable state of life now, but
ish.
at the moment, but that could easily change. All of a sudden, if like World War III was going to happen over the next 6 months, people would be conscripted, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that I think we're just out of the age range for like the first wave. But when the war starts going badly, Lieutenant Bathtime and Sergeant Tyrone are going to be out there on the front lines.
And because you're still quite fit and you're a runner, you'll definitely be on the front line.
Yeah, you'll be fucking working drones and things, and I'll be a postman or something, like in 1917. And it'll just be me running at slow but steady rate for 30 kilometres to deliver the mail or something like that.
Yeah,
Mailman Darius.
Wouldn't you refuse it though? Because obviously you've got two choices: either you do what they say or you refuse it and go to prison.
I think I'd find it hard to refuse serving my country with everything it's given me. And also, I think back to my grandparents and what they did for me.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to say sitting here, like in comfort, but yeah, I do think it would be hard because I quite like the idea of like national service. Like, I think I wouldn't mind to see, in other countries they do a sort of conscription, don't they? Like Korea and places like that. And I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world at the age of 17 or 18 for people to do 6 months in some national service. I don't necessarily mean the army. I mean, like, maybe the National Trust or Parks or something.
Well, my brother was talking about someone who he went to school with, and I think he went into the Royal Marines, and he's
right.
By the time he was 30, he'd already paid off his house, the mortgage. So that's what the Royal Marines gave to him. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, but I mean, like, having like obviously, is your brother from the northeast as well?
No, we're both South London. He's from South.
Yeah, but I mean, you were born in Middlesbrough.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Okay, well, like up in the northeast, like, and you'll notice it in adverts now. Pretty much anyone going into the Royal Marines or the Army or whatever, they're always from Carlisle and Newcastle and South Shields and things. It's a huge recruitment for the Army up there, and it's one of the only ways to kind of get out of because there's not a lot since the mines have gone and stuff, which was a shitty job anyway. There's not really a lot of like employment opportunities up there, which is why I'm quite interested about all these massive AI plants they're going to open in the northeast. Bloody hell! But yeah, I think like we try and give stuff to people in this country, but it's just not always right. And so I think it's really good when you hear about people that have gone into these things, like that have gone into service of the country, whether that's like the NHS or whether that's teaching or whether that's the armed forces, and they've made a good life for themselves. And
it looks good, the uniform as well. Like when they've got their uniform on and the boots and the weapon, it does look.
Yeah, like it does. Good. Being in uniform does change you, man. Like it's like being in a suit. It does change it. Like if you're in like tracksuit and hoodies and Man United tops the whole time, and then you get into something that's like nice and stylish, you get a bit more Italian. Like So, but yeah, I mean it's so like when you watch this and you see them in concentration camps and stuff, my initial thought isn't so much I couldn't do that. It's I don't think I'd survive.
I wouldn't survive. I reckon they would have shot. I reckon I'd be dead because I wouldn't be able to have people talk to me like that.
Well, I just think that for various medical conditions, I'd been first on the list. Like, like when you look at who went into those kind of places, I'm quite far up that list. So it's always it's just so barbaric, isn't it? Like it's wild to look at what they did to people.
It's disgusting.
I know it's what, and the thing is, it probably still goes on in the world.
It does.
Some sort of form of it, but for it to happen in Europe is just crazy to me. Like,
there's been a lot of people who've suffered over the years, but you know what? We talk about like things like this, right? What's wild is me and you will probably have an iPhone or something. Those kids on those who are doing
iPhone 11,
but you know the people who are on the lithium mines, like mining it and stuff, they're slaves.
Yeah, it's a form of indebted servitude, isn't
Same
it?
thing.
Like, yeah, but you might say that about, I don't know if you'd say that about Welsh coal miners in the 50s, 40s, 60s, stuff like that. Or you'd say that about feudalism. This isn't so much about slavery, which is obviously a terrible thing, but it's something that has happened everywhere from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Right? It's a horrible part of human nature is that we like enslaving people. This to me is different. Like, this
it's more
is
hatred,
about,
isn't it?
yeah, these people shouldn't be allowed to live. They have no real worth beyond like being a pack animal, as it were. And yeah, and I don't want to say that I'm like saying slavery is fine. What I'm kind of saying is that slavery to me is more understandable than the Holocaust and like gassing children and burning people in ovens and stuff like. Do you know what I mean? I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying slavery is all right by me, because it's disgusting. But there's something feels a lot nastier about the Holocaust and that kind of attitude.
I don't know. I think slavery and stuff and what my ancestors went through is probably the worst crime in human history. But obviously, I think people who had relatives who suffered in the Holocaust would disagree. It's just
it is a bit subjective and things, isn't it? And also, like, I suppose this is more like just an intellectual exercise rather than trying to make a point. The fact that you're here now, even though that like there was slavery in your family, suggests to me that it's different to the Holocaust, because there are lots of people whose families ended because of that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, a lot of my ancestors would have been raped on the plantations, though.
Yeah, that is pretty shocking, to be honest. But at least you live in the country that basically tried to stop it. That's one of honestly, that's one of the great things about Britain, is that we kind of stopped slavery. Like, we were obviously part of it, and we contributed to it.
Well, after they made their money, they thought, we've had enough of our fill.
We were paying taxes until 2018 on reparations that we paid for slavery in the 18th century. Like, we spent a lot of money on it. Like, and I don't want to talk. Sorry, I don't want to talk about this because people can't have discussions without getting upset. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people that might be listening and things.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I can talk to you about all these kind of things, but I never thought we'd end up discussing what is better, slavery or the Holocaust. And that's not what I'm trying to do.
I know.
I'm trying to do.
I know.
Unless
you know what, I'll be honest with you, right? This is the last thing I'll say on it. People are just people, aren't they? And nobody deserves to be treated like that.
Exactly. And this is why the Doctor is so upsetting to me in this film. There's two bits in this film that really got to me.
He looks guilty, though.
Yeah, but
not that makes it right, but he looks genuinely remorseful when he sees it.
I don't think he does. And I think that's the tragedy of it. I think so. In the first act, he's in love with Guido, isn't it? Like, he thinks he's so clever, he's so ingenious, he's so taken with him, he loves him. And then he's in a concentration camp and he doesn't give a fuck. That's the effects of this, like, sort of political virus, this fascism, and what it's done to people. And that's why it's such a tragedy, because, like, people are people, and these Italians and Germans were just people, innit?
Mm,
You
exactly.
know, and they went that way. It can happen to me. It can happen to you. Like, it's a horrible part of human nature.
It could definitely
It's
happen again in the future. That's the scary thing. Not saying it
oh,
will.
it,
It
it
can.
is. I mean, it's kind of happening now, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's all over the world, and
Mm,
we talk about politics off stage and things like that,
mm,
and the only thing that I'll say political about this film is, again, that thing about victimhood,
mm.
because now, like, when I thought it was quite interesting when we talked about mental health in the Seven Samurai. Do you remember how, like, that felt kind of like just so incredibly modern?
But you know what was mad? It's crazy how like these filmmakers from years and years ago. It's crazy how like they're so ahead of their time.
I don't think they are, Tyrone. That's the
Mm,
thing. Is that I think personally that people, like, certainly people that have gone to war and things
mm,
like that, I think they understand that they're not mentally healthy. And I think that that's always been something that people understand deep down, that there's something not right about them, or something like that. I think what it is once again, it's about victimhood. I think that the problem with mental health in the past, and what this film is kind of glorifying in some ways, is that as a man, I don't want someone to feel sorry for me.
mm,
It's I do not want to be a victim. I don't want pity. I think it's pathetic, and
mm.
this is me, right? I don't. It's not like I don't have pity for other people. It's just I can't bear the fact that someone feels sorry for me,
Mm.
right? And I think that that is a large part of mental health, is that people don't want someone else to feel pity for them. And in this film, what I really, really like is that Guido doesn't want his son to live in pity.
Yeah.
And I really think that there's a big lesson to be taken from that, because now I saw the other day, I saw Ricky Gervais win a Golden Globe for a stand-up comedy special that was him complaining about how everyone had cancelled him and was making him a villain. He was
I need,
playing a victim,
I need to watch that.
basically.
I need to watch that actually. I started
It's
watching.
it's just it's boring, and I actually used to really like Ricky Gervais, but it's just boring because it's him going, "Oh, I'm cancelled." That's all it is. It's him playing a victim, and it's on Netflix. He's been paid millions for it, and then he wins a Golden Globe. I can't see how you can be a victim. I've seen Nigel Farage like claim he's a victim because banks wouldn't give him like credit services,
Mm.
and then I've seen him go and demonize like half of the country. I've seen there are so many people that run around portraying themselves as a victim and asking for outrage on their behalf.
Mm.
Like, they make it a moral thing where if someone is nasty to me, it's because I'm part of this group that is persecuted, not
Yeah.
because I'm a dickhead. It's nothing individual. It's because I'm part of a group, and you should be as outraged as I am. And I even see it with Manchester United, just outrage, playing the victim. The refs are after us. The refs are victimising
That's
us.
why Bruno, as much as I like him as a player, that's why he drives me up
Yes,
the wall because I'm
he's a
watching.
victim.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I love about Life is Beautiful, is that they refuse, like, they reject in the concentration camp the idea of victimhood. And it's something that really resonates with me, because obviously the reason it's so powerful is they are victims.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? That they are victims. Whereas when I went to a nightclub and the bouncer didn't let me in because he didn't think my shoes were good enough, I would act like a victim. That's not. Do you know what I mean? That's not real. What was I doing? And to some degree, everyone acts like a victim, and it's fine,
Mm.
right? It's fine.
We've
But
all been there.
yeah, exactly. But it's just, I love the rejection of moral outrage, of getting other people to do your dirty work, and it's just me and you, and we're going to get through this, and I'm going to protect you by not letting you assume the role of a victim, is what I love about this film.
But it's like that what you're saying is so true, because I remember one time I listened to like an excerpt of Joe Rogan talking, And
Right.
someone he was talking to was talking about like those I can't catch a break guys. And Joe Rogan was like, yeah, keep those kind of guys away from me because they're like a cancer. All they're doing is pissing on your fire, your enthusiasm. Because like everybody's had bad breaks in life. Do you know what I mean? It's how you
Yes.
come out the other side, sort of thing.
Uh, yes, Sarah. This is so important. Is because what I don't like about modern society is it says it's okay to be a victim. It's okay. Blame it on someone else. It's not you. It's not your fault. And it takes all agency away from people. And obviously, there are things like Islamophobia and racism and homophobia and all the different things, and they are like they do obviously exist, and they are legitimate concerns for people. But some people, in my opinion, use them as a crutch to excuse their own personal failings, and everyone says it's okay. And I agree with Joe Rogan. I don't want these people around me. I don't want people that make excuses. I want people that give me solutions. Obviously, not final solutions, but and that's what I love about Guido's character is you think he's a clown, right, and that he's not serious, and by the end of the film, he's one of the most heroic people in film.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I can't lie. I got pretty emotional for the second time when right at the end where he's with his mother shouting "Hello, Princess," and then you hear a voiceover of like an old Italian going, "And then my father, he gave me the strength, and this is why I love
Yeah.
him."
So
And
basically, it's the son who's telling the story after all that.
And I was just like, I could feel all the emotion in me.
But that
You
bit
know what
where
I mean?
that bit where the son sees his mum, he's calling his mum, and she's so happy to see him, and she's kissing him. I thought that scene was so realistic. I thought, wow, the acting was superb.
Yeah, because I actually thought that was their son. My dislike of Wikipedia. I thought that it was his family in the film. That it was Rich, Dora, and G Wolf, and they were all a family. But I also love that there's two bits in the film that really get to me. One is right at the end where he picks his kid up and he's running through the smoke and he finds the pile of bodies. I mean, that is proper horror shit right there. And that is, for me, that kind of... When this film came out, I think this is a long time ago, and I actually saw it a long time after it came out, but there's a quote somewhere where someone said, "Oh, is this the happy clappy sitcom set in a concentration camp?" Someone said that about the film. And I think that there's actually some truth to that. It is treading a fine line between kind of not comedy washing, but not taking it seriously. And I think that scene where you see all the dead bodies is really needed in this film to show the horror that he's protecting his son from. And it's also, and so that bit got to me. The other bit is where just after he's been shot, when the tank appears.
Yeah. That's a great
scene.
Scene.
Come on.
Yeah, that's
come on.
That's such a
like. Because did you think he was going to die?
Who, the son?
No, the Rich.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna. I knew he'd end up dying somewhere in the film. I knew.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get out of it when I first watched it because they didn't shoot him, and I was like, "Oh, come on!" And then I didn't realise until after he did his funny walk, the last thing he ever did for his son, that he was actually
where he gives him the wink.
Yeah, and he does like whenever because earlier on he gets taken off by two people from the bookstore. And he does that stupid walk as he's leaving. And he does the same one when he's been taken away to be shot. And what I thought worked really well in this film was not translating the German.
Yeah.
But the reason is because that guy said to him, "Don't kill him here, kill him round the corner." And it's only when they get to the corner that I realised that was what had happened.
Yeah, sad, isn't it?
And I was like, "Oh, wow." Yeah, I was like, wow.
Well, it was more the fact that it's done off screen. I always think when someone's killed off screen and it's not shown, I always find that more powerful. When
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I think like Omar Little in The Wire is a good on-screen killing because it comes out of the sorry, anyone who has not seen The Wire. Like there are some like there's one in spoilers for Deep Blue Sea. Have you seen Deep Blue Sea?
no.
Okay, it's got one of the most famous deaths ever in it, and it's just a B movie about sharks, and someone is giving a speech halfway through the film, a very famous actor, about how they're going to get through this, and they just get eaten by a shark just halfway through the speech. It's awesome. Um,
It's quite powerful. Like it's similar, like in Scarface, where Tony's
ugh,
friend gets the chainsaw, but you don't actually see it on screen, which is great.
yeah,
How powerful that
it's
was.
a very Spielbergian technique to kill someone off screen as well. So it's it's just like I like it because I think if you see him on his knees pleading or something like that, it changes the film.
Mm.
Or and I also think that if you see him not doing anything, it changes the film because he's in the role of the father trying to protect his son, so
Mm.
he's got to do everything to try and survive. And if you see him kind of give up, it changes the film. So I think it's very good that all of that is left up to you.
Well, you have to use your own imagination.
Yeah, yeah, but it's kind of your choice how he died. If he died on his feet, if he died fighting, if it was just too much for him, if he thought he saved his son and that's enough. It's doing it off screen. It's all up to you. And it it also doesn't give a human face to the Nazis, if
I,
you know
I
what I mean.
I reckon he just would have been the same Guido he always was. If you want to kill me for no reason, that's on you. It's not on me. So yeah,
What I like to think is he does his things with his hands, like his Jedi mind trick, and goes, "You won't kill me. You won't kill me."
mm.
That's what I like to think happened because I also that's also something they do in the setup. Do you remember that scene I said I thought was great with the cabinet? He goes, "The cabinet is going to come towards me, woo da woo da woo."
Yeah. Now, what bit did make me laugh? It's the bit where they're in the theater watching a show, and he's basically
Oh, is this about the death bit?
no, he's basically looking at her while she's sat with the government official, and he's
Yeah,
using his hands, and it was so funny. Yeah, because he says to the woman's like, "What is he doing?" He's like, "Oh, I can only hear with this side of my."
I thought that was so funny.
That was funny because it made sense.
Yeah, I thought that
Yeah,
was so.
that was
What I
good.
also loved about that scene is going back to about like Italian style and things. That opera looked gorgeous.
Mm.
Like the glitter in the coats and the attention to beauty. I was looking at that thinking, wow, imagine what that must have been like in the 30s, going to just watch productions of operas like this in beautiful Tuscany and things. Um, I love how romantic the first half of the film is, and then how brutal the second half is.
Well, you kind of get that scene where he's with Dora, they're with their son, and you see the bookstore, and you're like, wow, he made it.
Yeah,
He's actually got his dream. This is his dream.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and the thing is, I like that they showed us that because it tells you how cruel it was that it was all ripped away from him.
yeah, and that really happened to people, which is
Mm,
why it's so upsetting to me. And I'm sure that there are bad things going on in the world now, but when you see it in the form of a story, I don't know. It affects me more.
it was
I,
so
d- I- it shouldn't, but it does because you've just like the bit where he's running around showing his belly button off and things. It's just so
mm.
bloody stupid. But I just, you really like it. Um,
It's all
and
the I like the bit where he's running away from the guy because he accidentally puts the hat on with the eggs, and then he's running. Then he bumps into the princess again. That bit where she's with the school kids. That's funny, and she's
yeah,
and it keeps on happening. And she's like, "How the hell do you keep doing this?" And he just charms her, doesn't he? He just wins her.
yeah, I love the bit with the hat. To be honest,
Yeah, where he keeps taking.
where yeah, he keeps nicking that guy's hat, and then he goes, "You try it," and she's like, "Okay, yeah, Maria, give him a new hat." And he
Yeah.
changes the hat. And I also love the bit where he's got a walking stick or something, right? And he just makes his hat go up like Charlie Chaplin,
Mm.
like because I've wondered on our list if I should put Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin on it, something like Gold Rush or something like that. But I watched Charlie Chaplin recently, and I just don't think that people would enjoy it as much as I do. But I do love silent movie acting.
It's perfect because all you got to do is look at the face. His acting throughout the whole thing was really good, you know.
Very Robin Williams like, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a good comparison actually.
That sort of manic visual comedian who's just is so fast. Like, I would suspect so much of this film is improvised.
There's only one foreign language film that's made as much as this film in the box office, and that was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So that's
really. I thought I was going to say City of God.
Yeah, Crouching Tiger. Yeah, which is an amazing film.
I've never seen it actually.
It's awesome.
We can add that to the. I should actually check now. Do you remember what film I said was next? I've remembered now. Because we're going to do an English language one, I think, because we've done so many subtitles. Although I'm all right with subtitles. Are you?
I don't mind them. When it's a film like this, where I'm kind of looking at the acting and stuff, and it's so expressive, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know what's really good? That scene where he's with the woman, right, and they end up in the car because obviously he tells the guy to.
Oh yeah.
And he's with her, right? He's with Dora, and she's like, there has to be an explanation. And then he switches it around. No, you're the one who's got to explain to me. Like, I know you fancy me, you know what I mean? Who wouldn't, sort of thing?
Yeah.
I don't blame you for it, but you've really got to, you know, it was so good, man.
It's a very effective technique, that. Just keep telling a girl that they really fancy you. And eventually they're like, do I? It's very similar to, like, It Wasn't Me by Shaggy, where eventually she'll go, yeah, maybe it wasn't him. Just keep telling a girl they like you. Eventually they're like, do I? I don't know. But the bit that I really liked is when he's talking about how he wants to bang her and keeps telling her that he would never tell her. That bit made me laugh a lot. Like, because I just, the thing is that I from what you told me, cause I think you watched like the first 10 minutes and then had to go and do something else and came back to it later. Or is that correct?
When I first watched it and we were getting through that first scene with the car brakes going and stuff, and as it was going on, I was getting very agitated. I was thinking, for fuck's sake.
What was the problem?
And then, it took a while. It took a while to kind of grow on me, but then as time went on, and the relationship develops with him and this woman, I thought, this isn't too bad, you know. Let me see where it's going. And so I liked the structure. I liked how little things kind of.
Yes, this is what I was going to say. Is that what concerned me when you told me about that? Is I love farce. It's one of it's if you remember we talked about what genre you would bring back. I would bring back farce, which is things like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Actually, quite a lot of. Do you like Fawlty Towers?
Not particularly.
Okay,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I love farce. I love French farce. Like, have you ever seen the Pink Panther films?
I tried to watch them once. I couldn't get into them.
Yeah, fair enough. Like they're old and it's and it's different. But I love that kind of. I think that it's such a cool form of comedy because it involves so much setup. And you've got to make the setup interesting. It's like it's fascinating to me. So that's why I love that scene where the kid is like, I hate showers, and gets inside the thing, because it's interesting at the time, but it's so important for what happens later.
But then before that scene, we get the scene with the with Dora, and she's with the women, and the woman basically tells her what happens when they go for the shower, and they it's the setup to a joke is often, to me, more interesting than the punchline. Yeah.
And I love farce because of how they set stuff up for these ridiculous moments. Like, and so when you told me that you weren't liking it, I was like, oh no, if Tyrone doesn't like farce, this is going to be awful for him, because the first hour of the film is just an Italian farce.
It reminded me of a play that I did years ago called The Government Inspector.
Ooh, do I know this? Is this a famous play? Or am I
Yeah,
thinking of a different inspector?
it's the government inspector by Nikolai Gogol. That's exactly what it. Yeah, you should look it up. It's a really funny play.
Yeah, is it basically just a French farce of like
Like
because in
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
like because Shakespeare has a lot of farce to it where people get mistaken for other people and so on.
Yeah. This reminded me of. This is like a Shakespeare tale.
Yeah,
This is right. Reminded me
you're
of
right.
Shakespeare.
You're so right about A Midsummer's Night Dream.
Yeah.
Like
Well, he's
with
bottom, isn't he?
Puck
He's
and
basically
Bottom.
he's
Yeah,
bottom. Yeah, that's who he is.
yeah. Like
Mm.
that's really good. And because I've got to be honest, I do prefer the more serious Shakespeare stuff. I find his comedies or like his farces.
Mm.
I find the performances of them a bit over the top now.
Hamlet's good.
Yeah, Hamlet, Macbeth, like they're fucking wild.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that really stick with you. Like no one ever says, "Oh, Midsummer's Night Dream's my favourite Shakespeare."
It wasn't my favorite to do, but you know what really annoyed me? We had this director, and I said to her, like, you should be let us do a serious Shakespeare. Why are we always doing the musicals / comedies? And she looked at us and she said, she's like, don't take this the wrong way. I think it would be a bit too much for you guys. And I looked at her and I said, you're so wrong. You obviously haven't seen what we do.
Yeah,
I just thought she was so patronizing, and I thought I'm gonna go somewhere else then.
yeah, I agree with that because I'm a big fan of Twelfth Night.
I've done 12. I was Antonio in that.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I played Antonio.
Well, I think structurally that's a really good farce.
Mm.
Like, and I think it's like it actually got remade into a surprisingly good teen comedy. No, it didn't. I'm talking about Taming the Shrew, not Twelfth Night. Sorry.
Did you ever read After Juliet?
No.
So basically, After Juliet is a play by Sharma MacDonald, and it's basically it's basically the events that came after Romeo and Juliet, after the deaths of both of them, and we did that play as well.
What happens?
So you've got a character called Valentine who basically he goes after like Tybalt and all those people that are Montagues because he wants to avenge the death of Mercutio, his twin brother.
So it's Capulets versus Montagues again.
It is, yeah. It continues. The wars basically it continues again. It's a really good play.
Is it love or is it a remix where there's just another version of the two of them?
It is about love, but it's about Juliet's cousin. She's got a cousin called Rosalind, and she falls in love with Benvolio. So Benvolio's in this as well. It's really good. I have to read it again, but it's a really good play.
I've seen a film with Steve Coogan called Hamlet 2 that I really enjoyed, but it's very different. It's a comedy about Hamlet having a time machine and going back in time to save everyone, and it involves quite a lot of Star Wars. It's a good film, but it's pretty ballsy to try and do a sequel to Shakespeare, isn't it? Seriously.
I didn't like Romeo and Juliet. I didn't like the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. I didn't like it.
I watched 2 minutes of it and I was like, I'm like, either speak normally or set it where it should be set. It's like, for me, and it's also, I think Leonardo DiCaprio is a perfectly fine actor, and is it Juliette Lewis who plays?
I don't think
or Claire Danes.
I think they needed a better actress to go.
Yeah, I don't want to sound tremendously snobby, but I don't want to watch Shakespeare done by American film actors. I want to see it done by the Royal Shakespeare. I want to see it done by classically trained.
So do I.
Actors and stuff like that. And that's one of my big worries about like acting in the UK is I don't feel enough classically trained actors are put in the right roles anymore.
We sell a lot of our culture off to everyone else. We don't have anything. It's like we're not proud of what we have. You know what I mean? Why do you just give it all up like that so easily?
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
I know he's not popular now, but he was at the time. But putting Kevin Spacey in charge of the old Vic is madness to me.
Big mistake.
Yeah, and not just because of what he turned into, but because of the fact that he's an American from a completely different like lineage of acting.
Exactly.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, what? Like, is it the Strakansky method or something? The Russian thing?
Stanislavski.
Stanislavski, thank you. Like,
He was a genius, though, Stanislavski.
Yes, but that is, to me, that is. I know it's Russian, but that is an American form of acting, and it's perfectly valid. But it is not what Shakespeare was about. And I want, I put like I think who's your Welshman? Who there's a Welsh guy who's in charge of the theatre, Michael Sheen. He plays Tony Blair and Brian Clough a lot. Michael Sheen.
Yeah.
He's in charge of like a theatre down in Wales and stuff like that. And I think that's how it should be. With someone local, but who is classically trained. So I'd be perfectly fine with, I don't know, Jarvis. Paul Bettany. He's a classically trained actor from London. I'd like him in charge of the Old Vic. He's got, the Hollywood pull, as it were.
You know what's really mad, though? A lot of people, right, even when I was doing Shakespeare, it always used to baffle me when people would turn around to me and say, oh, God, I'm so done with Shakespeare. I don't understand what people don't like about it. It's so good to get into the characters and to do the plays. I love it.
I think a lot of it, right, is that when we're at school, we all have to learn Shakespeare, and that continues to this day, I hope. But I think a lot of it is that there's this awful teaching method of when you go and watch Shakespeare, you take your book with you and you follow along with the lines instead of, because it's not, Shakespeare isn't meant to be something that's read. It's meant to be something that's performed. So the equivalent would be that when we discuss this film, we just read the script and we don't watch the film. And I think that influences people badly, because Shakespeare is, when it's electric when it's done properly. And it's also so universal. Like Hamlet, this theme of vengeance and fatherhood and things being taken away from you. Like, I genuinely think The Lion King is one of the best adaptations of it. And you know how that resonates so much with other people. Like, people love that cartoon, and all it is just Hamlet.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really good. I remember, it's so good.
It's like Macbeth as well, like just a proud idiot who, like, his ambition gets him where he needs to be, but he's so blinded by what's around him, he can't see that he's setting the seeds of his own downfall. And then, like, King Lear, like this once powerful king who's just let his family run all over it. These are such universal things that you should recognise them everywhere. And I really wish we could go back to... Did you ever watch things like Play of the Day?
No, what did I'm trying to think.
What's that one about a birthday party? Angela's Party or something. It's really, really famous. I think it might be Tom Stoppard. It's about a girl's 16th birthday party, and it's about her mum like having a breakdown beforehand. Let me find out what it's called. It was on a program called Play of the Day, which they used to do on like Radio 4 and BBC One, where every day at 2:00 instead, like, they used to just put a play on. Excuse my clicky keyboard. When I find out, you will know what this play is. It's one of the most famous ones ever done in the UK. Is it Abigail's Party? I think that's what. Have you heard of that?
No, I've not heard of it. I'll be honest.
Never seen Abigail's Party?
No.
Well, this is an interesting idea, because I saw the other day that there's a new Game of Thrones out, and I know you like Game of Thrones. Have you seen it?
No, well, I'm not the new one. Are you talking about House of Dragon?
No, I'm talking about... It is Abigail's Party. It's by Mike Leigh. I'm talking about A Knight of the Kingdom or something.
No, I've not seen it advertised.
Let me just have a quick look and see... if it's out. I wish
the author, please finish the 2 books. Please, my friend, just finish the 2 books.
I can't... If he ever finishes them, I'll read them. Like... I really think that there's a lot good about Game of Thrones, and I think it's actually quite a nice contrast to Lord of the Rings in some way. Which, by the way,
you prefer the books to the shows, don't you?
What, Lord of the Rings?
Game of Thrones. You prefer?
I haven't read the books.
Oh, I thought you read the books of Game of Thrones.
I've what I've done is I've listened to lore videos on them from both the like in the DVDs, they have the actors reading out histories of.
Oh,
So I've listened to those, and I've listened to some of the channels that I used to watch for Lord of the Rings. Used to do a lot of stuff on Game of Thrones as well, and I've listened to so I know quite a lot about Game of Thrones in terms of like, I know about the Blackfire Rebellion and the Doom of Valyria and things that aren't in the show, and I think they're wonderful. But I'm not reading that amount of work without it being finished because I know I'd love it, and I don't want to live like you, where you're like, I just need the end of the story. Do you know what I mean? And like this guy he won't give it to us. He won't let someone else write it, which I understand, but we're never going to see it, are we?
letting someone else write it would be a no. You can't do that.
Well, Silmarillion was written by two people that weren't Professor Tolkien, and it's pretty good, and it gives you a lot. Like, I think, like look, if J.K. Rowling had died in book 5 of Harry Potter, they would have finished it, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Someone would have finished it, like, because even though it's their baby, I think people love it so much, and they kind of deserve to get some kind of ending for it. And I don't know, but what I was going to say, right, is that I wouldn't mind us to review a TV series at some point, but there's just nothing good out. So I'm okay.
Could be an old one. Oh, what Fallout? You want to do Fallout?
No, I'm not into Fallout, and I think that if we do an old one, it's got to be one that's finished.
Breaking Bad?
I've seen it to death.
I haven't watched The Sopranos, so we could do that.
I've seen The Sopranos 3 times. I'm not watching it again for a while. I want to. Well, there's one that I was going to suggest, which I haven't seen, which is called The Office, but it's not. It's not the comedy one. It's a French one. It's meant to be amazing, but it's. I just. What annoys me is that with something like Game of Thrones or Lost or Stranger Things, like, it's exciting if you're a fan of those when they come out and you get to speculate on what's going to happen. And I like stuff. Do you know what I mean? I like those kind of theories and what ifs and things. And I just don't think you get that in television anymore.
Did you like The Boys? Have you seen The Boys?
I do like The Boys, yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to do season 5 of The Boys? Oh, I've asked you this. You haven't seen it.
I've not even finished season 1 yet, mate.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Let's not force it. Let's just wait for something like to come out. But I was just, because I know you love Game of Thrones, so when I saw A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I was like, oh, I should ask Tyrone about that, because apparently I think that there's only like 6 episodes or something, and it's only half an hour.
You know what Game of Thrones reminds me of? Obviously, when they've got all the clothing on, all the armor, it just reminds you of it's like a Shakespeare setting, but not
Richard III.
It's just stuff like that. Yeah, stuff with swords and shields is so much better to watch than guns. You know what I mean? It's so cool.
Yeah, no, it is, because it's more personal, isn't it? With swords, it's like knives. Yeah, guns are just. It's like your man in the raid. They're just not interesting. He wants to, Mad Dog just wants to fight people, body to body, skin to skin. And I agree with him. But yeah, I'd love us to find a good TV show. So just keep that on the back. Like, if you see anything that looks interesting, let me know. Because I watched this thing called Pluribus, and it was bloody awful.
Roberto Benigni is still with his wife, Mrs. Braschi, which is cool.
I would hope so. He never really did anything after this, I don't think, like Hollywood-wise.
Nicoletta Braschi.
Won an Oscar for this.
He deserved it.
Do you think so?
Yeah, he did deserve an Oscar. It's a brilliant story.
Yeah, but for Best Actor?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to say yes.
Right, let me see who's up against.
I'm going to say...
1997?
Yeah.
Let me see. I bet you that there's... Okay.
Did he win it, or did he win... I don't know.
I think he won Best Actor for it, and I think it was a massive. I think it was a massive surprise. Are you sure? He definitely. I'm sure he won Best Actor.
I think Jeffrey Rush got Best Actor for something called Shine.
Oh, is that about Piano Player?
Yeah, that was 1997, wasn't it? Yeah,
but so he would have been 1998 because the film came out in 1997.
Ah, okay, maybe you're right.
Is it Vita?
Yeah.
Life is Beautiful. Let me check. Blah 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 blah. 3 Academy Awards, Best Actor for Benigni.
In 98.
Yeah, 98. So
that's impressive because they were up against Titanic.
Jesus Christ! No. He's up against these are the nominations. Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan.
Wow, nah, that's crazy.
Ian McKellen in Gods and Monsters. Nick Nolte in Affliction. And this is who I think should have got it. Edward Norton for American History X.
I love that film.
Tell me that performance is. I think that Benigni. I'm very pleased he won it. I think it's great that he won it. But Edward Norton was amazing in that film. Wow, they went up. What a year it must have been for World War II with Saving Private Ryan and Life is Beautiful.
Mm.
A Shakespeare in Love got Best Picture over Saving Private Ryan. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. God, Gwyneth Paltrow won an Oscar that year. And Judi Dench.
So what year was that he won it then? Is that 1998?
Yeah, 1998, 71st Academy Awards.
Oh.
I'm just looking at it now. They won Best Foreign Film. Absolutely no problems with that. I haven't seen any of the other ones. I'll tell you what, my friend Chris on another channel is going to do the Best Picture winners, like a review from 1927 to last year. I was thinking that I bet you'd be really interesting to look at like Best Foreign Film. I'd love to see. I bet you some of them are wild. My only concern is that I bet you they're all really serious. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just looking at I'm having a quick look at them now. I mean, Parasite won Best Foreign Film.
I love that film. It's so good.
I'm Still Here.
Could have been better though.
It's all right. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon won Best Foreign Film.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon's an awesome film. I wish you could watch it. It's so good.
Well, we're going to watch it on the list. Like, we'll just stick it on. Cinema Paradiso, that's on our list. That one in 1989.
I got confused. It was 1999 that he won the Academy Award for Life is Beautiful. Oh, fair enough. That's pretty cool. That's really good.
Yeah, man. All right. Next week's film, do you remember what it is?
It's Life of Pi, isn't it?
Yeah, Tiger film. Is it like, it's a happy film, is it? Because I want Feel Good January.
This film is very similar to Life is Beautiful in that it's a film about perseverance and fighting, not being a victim, fighting against the struggle.
Perfect. All right, no victim January.
And there's a shot in the film I'm really looking forward to talking about. It's a shot that I'll probably not see a more crazy shot than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a close-up shot, but I don't want to spoil it. I'll mention it when we watch it. Because I've got to rewatch it again.
Yeah, and are you all right with rewatching films at the moment with your work schedule and things? Because it's so difficult sometimes to find the time to sit down in the right environment and watch a good film.
Yeah, I'm good now. Tomorrow I'm gonna have some time to rewatch it because I'm gonna do some Muay Thai tomorrow.
Are you? Do you know what I'm doing this weekend?
Decorating.
No. I am going to watch The Lord of the Rings, the extended edition, on the big screen.
Oh my god.
They've re-released it, and it has been a nightmare getting tickets. But I've got a ticket to every film now.
Or the Prince Charles Cinema.
No, it's like it's all over the country.
Oh, okay.
Like, but I've only seen it in the cinema once, so I'm quite excited.
My friend Lee Murray said The Lord of the Rings is the most overrated film that's ever come out because he said it's basically 2 hours of walking.
That's true. It is. It's a big walk. Everyone knows that. It's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a physical journey and a spiritual and mental journey. And
yeah.
if you don't like Lord of the Rings, I have no problems with that. I don't care. Like, people are allowed to like what they want, but he's wrong just based off the fact of how many people love it. Like, in my opinion, it's like, for me, I think Skype is one of the most stupid inventions ever made.
Skype,
but I just have to accept that, like, video calling is one of the most stupid things in the world.
Oh, I thought you would have loved it.
No, absolutely not. I hate sitting down and having to talk to someone face to face when they're not there. I much prefer the telephone or texting. Like, it just, yeah. Everyone thinks it's great. Oh, you can see them and you can wave and stuff. Awful. But I have to accept that I'm wrong because everyone else seems to love it.
But that's kind of like why we get along, because it's like, ever since I've met you on the agenda, it's like it's a faceless person I'm communicating with, which is fine by me. It works.
Yeah, it's the radio, isn't it?
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah. But that's my choice, because I think the world is so fucking crazy that you shouldn't, as you have learned, Tyrone, you should be very careful with what you put on the internet, because there's a lot of weird people out there, and there's a lot of bad-minded people that are envious and jealous and don't like people that make the best of themselves.
However, Keir Starmer's actually done something good for once. He's come out against X and said that they've got
man.
Well,
wild that stuff.
Well, he's basically said you guys have got to rein it in, because people can get a picture of someone and make them talk. That's a no-no. You got to sort it out.
Yeah, exactly. See how far ahead of the game I am. It's absolutely, that is disgusting what they're doing to people online. Like, imagine that. Like, if you've got a sister or fiance or mother or whatever,
it's not
people
funny.
Just like put her in a bikini, bend her over.
Yeah.
Unreal. Like, what the world has come to. It's just, there's no decorum anymore. It's just, it's awful. I
reckon it should be a serious criminal offence. Actually, you take someone's
I completely agree. Like, there are lots of things that, like, people sort of think are sort of funny and stuff, but if it's to do with your identity, that's I think that's like one of the most personal assaults on you ever. Like, it's awful what they've done. I'm outraged, Tyrone. I'm a victim. That's what I mean. Like, save victimhood for real victims. Like, imagine that. Just, it's like, I remember hearing that this is, I don't know any of the people involved in this, but when I was at university, a guy on the football team told me about something that had happened in one of their classes, in one of their lectures, where it turned out that one of the girls, there'd been this weird girl in class, and she'd been writing like erotic fan fiction about the teacher, like basically shagging male students, and had started drawing pictures of it and stuff, and that they'd found out about it and seen the pictures, and they were absolutely outraged by it. And I found it funny. But if it had been the other way round and it had been a bloke drawing pictures of girls doing this, it would have been, it would have been less funny too.
Oh, so what, a male? So basically, it was a male teacher doing it with the students.
Yeah, but with male students only. She basically invented this erotic world of all the guys in her class like snogging each other and having sex and things. And I remember thinking, initially I thought this was funny.
But I feel sorry for her, because that means they've gone into her they've read what she was writing without her permission and they've found it. That's not right.
Well, no, well, it was just their reaction to it, right?
Mm.
Was absolute horror, and they felt violated and things. And I keep thinking about it
Why?
when I see.
Would you feel violated over that? That's just a fictional story, though.
It's the not.
I think
I'm gonna be honest, Tyrone. I feel flattered. To be honest, I'm that egotistical that someone thinking of me as a sort of like as just a sexual object appeals to me, and I know it shouldn't, and that's a very shallow thing. But yeah, I do. I do like the fact that someone looks at me and thinks that I'm Mr. Sex.
I'd love that.
You say you would, but would you? Because it's people say that that's fine, but if you're being objectified by a gay person, would you be all right with that?
I'd go nuts. That's different. I don't mind if it's a woman.
I'm fine with it. That's how, that's how shallow I suppose I am. I don't mind that at all. Like I like being attractive, but so that's basically what the difference is that they felt that they were being made gay, as it were, by her. And that so it's if it's with a woman, it's fine. But if it's with a man, it's not. That's quite interesting to me. And so, but anyway, with these people on X, it's power trip, isn't it? It's turning. Oh, it's awful.
And it's definitely mostly guys getting women's images and do it. I know.
Yeah.
What they're bored. Well, they can't get a real woman, so they have to do that.
I know, but the worst thing about me is I wouldn't be that bad with it myself. If it was men, if it was girls doing that to me, I like to be attractive. That's really shallow, isn't it? That's awful. Right, we have droned on for too long. Let's take this backstage.
All right.
Right, what's the next film?
The next film we're going to be discussing is The Life of Pi.
What's the year?
Let me double check. I can't remember.
Is it like 90s or 2000s?
It wasn't
2012.
that long ago. It might be 2007. Yeah.
It's 2012.
Yeah, 2012
by Ang Lee. It's got Gerard Depardieu in it. Nice one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be difficult for me to. I'm watching so many films this week that I might actually watch it tomorrow night.
Okay.
And then, like, this isn't cheating, is it? If I watch it tomorrow night, I'll watch one of those 15-minute AI recaps before the show starts, because I don't have a very good memory for film.
I've never tried those AI recaps. Are they good?
If you've seen the film, they're good. Like I've watched, when we had to do a film on a Thursday or something, or I've been busy at the weekend. I've always watched the film, obviously, but sometimes before the show, I would watch the AI recap just to remind me, because I don't take notes anymore.
Okay.
I feel it wrecks. Like certainly for the films that you show me, I don't like. So for the Raid and things like that, I won't take notes because I want to experience it as a viewer.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? So when I used to do the agenda, I used to hate the fact that sometimes I'd watch a game, and I'd just make a little note saying, "Oh, I should bring that up later." It spoils the enjoyment of.
I've stopped writing notes as well.
Yeah, I can tell. That's just a joke. It's just a joke. All right, let's finish it here.
Thank you very, very much, guys, for who tuned in. Good night. We'll see you next week.
All right, nice one.